I put on makeup for you guys today to make this video. If that's not true love, I don't know what is. Today I'm going to be reviewing Fairest by Marissa Meyer. Now I know what a lot of you are thinking. You're either thinking, Casey, I've already seen a million reviews on this book, or Casey, I've already read this book, or Casey, I've never even read the rest of this series, so why should I watch this review? All very legitimate questions, but this is less of a review and more of a discussion. Because I read this book when it came out, which was like, what, February? So I've had a while to think about it. For those of you who aren't aware, this is a prequel to the Lunar Chronicle series by Marissa Meyer, which consists of Cinder, Scarlet, Cress, and Winter, which comes out this year. This is a prequel centering around the villain Queen Lavanna from the series. And when I heard this book was coming out, I was not excited for it, to be honest. I love this series, but I was just like, why is this necessary? So I actually wasn't very excited about this book. I was actually really nervous because I didn't know how Marissa Meyer was going to pull this off. This is what leads me to my discussion. I'm going to set this book down for a second because it doesn't really have to do with this book at first. You'll see how it ties into this book in a second. I wanted to talk about this thing that's becoming kind of popular, which is like the retelling of a story from the villain's perspective and making them a sympathetic villain. A lot of people can't stand this. A lot of people can't stand that their favorite villain is being turned into this nice, just misunderstood person, and I totally understand that. I'm going to use a few examples. One of my favorite musicals in the world is Wicked, and one of my favorite TV shows is Once Upon a Time. If you're not familiar, in Wicked, the lead character is a character named Elphaba, who is the Wicked Witch of the West, and she's a likable character. She's the main character, you're rooting for her. Then in Once Upon a Time, we have the character Regina, who is the evil queen, and we like her too. She's good on the show, you know, we root for her. And the reason why I'm totally okay with these villains being misunderstood or retold is because I can completely separate them from the original work. So for instance, if I'm reading the book The Wizard of Oz or even watching the Wizard of Oz movie, I do not associate it with Wicked. I can completely separate it. I can still think that the Wicked Witch of the West is evil and scary and awful. And I'm not like, oh, it's Elphaba, I love her. I'll make jokes with my friends like, go Elfie, like while watching The Wizard of Oz or something, but I can completely separate it. I don't like the Wicked Witch of the West just because I like Wicked. Same with Once Upon a Time. If I'm reading the original Snow White tale or I'm watching the Disney movie Snow White, I'm not sitting there thinking, oh, it's Regina. I love Regina. No, I completely separate myself from it. Maybe some people aren't able to do that, but I do, so I don't mind the retellings. However, bringing me back to Fairest, that's why I was really nervous about this book. Because I thought to myself, if Marissa Meyer made the character of Queen Lavanna likable or understandable, it would completely ruin the series for me. And the reason is I would not be able to separate it from the other books because this is all Marissa Meyer's work. So if she made Queen Lavanna understandable or likable at all, then when I read Winter, when it comes out, or when I read the other three, I would not be able to separate it and I would not know who to root for or root against or whatever, and I'd be so confused. However, I was also nervous about her writing this book because I was like, if I don't root for Queen Lavanna in this book, then, like, if I don't understand her or where she's coming from and I just think she's evil, how will I even like this book? How will I even care? You know? So I was like, how is she gonna do this? So, without giving any spoilers away, I read this book and I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I don't know if it really deserved 5 out of 5 stars, but I think I gave it that because it was so unexpected. My expectations for this book were low, which is crazy because I love the rest of the series, but I'm not a big prequel. I just didn't want it. I wanted Winter to come out. This pushed back Winter's release date. I was mad about it and I was just like, I don't even want to read this. But I gave it 5 out of 5 stars because it was flippin' awesome and gripping and wonderful. Marissa Meyer is a genius in my opinion for this reason. She made me still hate Queen Lavanna. My feelings of Queen Lavanna have not changed. I still can't stand her. I still think she's a villain. I'm still rooting against her now more than ever. However, I completely understood why she did everything she did. I didn't sympathize with her, but I completely understood. And I think that's really hard to do. I'm not a great writer, but I think that's hard to do, to write a book like this and keep me happy on both sides, to make me care, but to also make her still a villain in my eyes. So, good job, Marissa Meyer. Thank you for this book. If you guys haven't read it, you should. If you haven't read the whole series, you should. It's really great. Yeah. So anyway, that was my discussion. I want to know what you guys think. Are you guys mad about the whole sympathetic villain thing? See, I understand people being mad about it, but in my eyes, these stories have been around forever and they will be around forever, and there's going to be retellings of them till the end of time. And I love fairy tales so much that I'll take any retelling I can get. Like, you know, if you want to make the villain sympathetic, try it. It might be a good story, you know? Like, I'm really glad for Wicked and things like that did that. So, you know, I'm up for anything like that, but sometimes in certain cases like this, I would not have wanted her to make the villain a good person. So anyway, tell me what you guys think, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.